Came home from work one night, took my suede shoes off. All I needed was you on me, girl. I said all I need is time. I said all I need is time.
I absolutely fucking love this band. They have been a constant in my life through the highs and lows. And even if I've taken time away, it's like a boomerang. You might leave, and then somehow you always kind of work your way back.
Every time I see them live, I cannot help but dance, and even if I'm behind the camera.
I like the fact that they are all such old friends.
Just give me your all they can. I'm all yours now. This could be yours. Let's give it all and do it again.
They're a party band. Like, I've never had a bad time at a Stella Ruze show.
They're really freaking talented at what they do, and the songs are great. The voices blend great. Like, that's a thing that not every band has, where it's like the vocalists just come together and it's like just like fits, and they sound great. They sound better together than just one person.
was just fire, man. The keyboard solo was great. The transition into the bass solo was great, dude.
Transition out of it was great too.
Yeah. I don't know, there was something about that first take that was
I'm cool if we want to use that. You could take pieces of the keyboard solo for the first take and time stretch into
Well, this is the first time we're all going to be in a room together recording an album.
We're going to try and capture live. So that's what's really fun about this one, too, is we're setting up everybody all together in the room, and we're really going to try and do the live thing.
The last thing we did was during COVID, so everybody was in on different days. And then the time before that, for the Greater Dog, we tracked everything separately.
They're all super comfortable enough with each other to speak what's on their mind, for better or worse. But it's like nobody's pulling any punches. So it's like if somebody's upset about a take, they're just gonna say it and not like bottle it up. And then you hear about it days, weeks later when you're like, I think the thing's finished. It's like they're gonna tell you. So the communication is out there.
I talk to friends and family who have come out to shows, and even right now, as we're lining up shows, they're like, "When's the next Stella show? When's the next Stella show?" They're hungry for it. They're ready to see the new material that's coming out, and to see where this band's gonna go. And I think that's one of the most exciting things about this new live album.
We are constantly evolving. So like we do one thing and then we add something to it, or we add a new sound or a new layer, and then we've got a whole new thing that we're running with, which I think is why we're all really excited about this album, because I feel like we've been slowly compiling different members and different sounds and styles and genres, and I feel like it kind of comes to a head with some of the stuff we've recorded this time around.
Suede Shoes, which has been around for a while, but I feel like it never really got its due as a single. Like that song was around since before I was in the band for sure. But it's kind of become like a live staple, I guess. People seem to like it, so we might as well do it as a band, because before it was just the four of them, you know. So now it sounds a bit different now.
I'm less concerned the older I get with appeasing what I think people want to hear and appeasing what I want to hear and what feels good.
You're going to see some different styles on this record. I know we're an eclectic band and we have lots of different genre bending, but I think you'll see like more of a jammy side on this record, more than you've ever heard with Stella Ruze.
As the band's getting older, you know, I wanted to just open it up and have it be like the most authentic. And for me, you know, a lot of the music has come to be with more improvisation and not worried about so much how long certain parts are, but if those parts feel good in the amount of time that they're being played.
I think it all comes back to that kind of live energy feel. I think that's at our core, that's what we are. We always get that feedback too.
I totally think we're a live music band. I think sometimes we sound better live.
People like dancing to us, they like singing along.
So that's really exciting because some of these songs are compositions of many ideas melded together.
I think we're a little more confident, maybe, and a little less like, I think Greater Dog, we put a lot of effort into like, not just the music, obviously, like the songwriting and stuff and like the arrangements, but also like we had a lot of thought and discussions about making it marketable.
I really wanted to throw out a lot of those traditional aspects or concepts that I had in my head that I thought a song needed to sound like.
What are other people going to think about this? Like, which songs are going to be radio friendly? And I think with this, what we're doing, it's more of a passion project.
We're actually tracking stuff without a click this time to give it more of a live feel.
I would say the creative process has changed for me over the years, from how often you're picking up the instrument, and also what you do when you do pick up the instrument. You know, Are you toying around? Are you learning a new song? Are you learning a new cover? Or do you just have it in your hands because it felt right?
There's songs that we really like to play and we think they sound good and we want a recording of them.
And I think the more busy you keep your life, the less those ideas come in. So you just try to keep it like open.
Pour your mind into the artistry and the music in that moment and not think so much about everything on the outside. You really start to gain more traction from everybody around you in the process, because when you really hone in on yourself and who you're working with, that, you know, inherently develops your own energy and everyone else's energy in the process.
I don't think I ever purposefully write music to sound like a certain genre, like pop music or funk music or reggae music or anything like that. I always try to keep it really open to whatever idea comes in. That's why some of Stella Ruze's music goes from, you know, like a traditionally jazzy scale to a reggae or a ska feel. The horns help you get there.
I do everything that I can to check every box and to make sure that my life is in order, and my house is in order, so that I can come here and kind of embrace a little bit of mania and do what I love to do, what I think I'm meant to do, but I've just been on a very circuitous path.
To have a musical outlet in your life is the greatest gift in the world.
I'm so consumed in like mom life. Of course, I love that. And then to be able to have something where it's like, you know, maybe I got thrown up on this morning and now I'm going to play a show tonight. It's my own thing that I get to go do.
This environment is really good for me.
I can't find my way home. No, I can't find my way home. Used, abused and confused. Mistreated like I didn't know what I was doing.
We all come from such different musical backgrounds, and I feel like that gives us a really unique sound. We're literally a little bit of everything. One of the coolest things about us is that we can do a lot of genres, and I feel like we can do them pretty well. I'm like funk, folk, pop, jazz, Americana, our own thing.
Spinning round in circles, you just waste the time. You don't mind the facts that keep the rest of us in line. You were wrong and tired at the wheel. I won't wait around here in fear.
I would say that our sound is rooted in classic American rock and roll. And I would say in the vein of the early Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. That's the really great example because they were heavy on horns back then.
It's kind of like the Lumineers or Of Monsters and Men meets Trombone Shorty.
Abilities do fade when your life feels wrecked. Don't determine all your fate in the path you trek. You still have time to correct the course. Don't you come around here anymore.
The interesting thing about this band is that everybody in it has pretty different tastes in music. Katie's really into singer-songwriter, deep lyrics. Brendan's into jam bands. Mason loves the Grateful Dead. My background is blues, a little bit of jazz. Alex is really into world music. It's like everybody listens to different stuff. This is kind of just like you just take all that and press it together, and you end up with a 7-piece band that has a horn section and a mandolin player, and we play jam songs, we play folk songs, we play lots of stuff. It doesn't fit well on a bumper sticker. We've tried.
I like to describe us as post-avant-garde, and nobody knows what the hell that means.
You know, even people like John Batiste from XPN, they describe the band as very like, you know, New Orleans influenced, not just Americana folk rock.
Roots, you know, Americana, sort of a rock band.
Merging a bunch of genres or pulling a sampler from a buffet of European descent, African, Caribbean descent, certainly American blues, rhythm and blues, and then like a little bit of Chuck Berry in there, a little bit of like stuff that kind of makes you want to shimmy, shuffle. Allman Brothers inspired. We sing pretty upbeat stuff. We sing pretty happy stuff. We don't dig into a lot of deep and sad and darker themes. I don't know where that places us on the spectrum of where current rock and roll is at, which I think is very much in a darker realm, reflection of the times, right?
Being in this moment with everyone, you couldn't trade it for anything else. Just to be playing music with everybody, making a record, just to kind of tail back to what I was saying before, how is this record different? I mean, we have fun with everything that we do generally at the end of the day, and that's the way it should be. And this is just like us going out there and having fun.
We need deadlines. And so booking this and setting this up and doing that was the only way that we were going to get our ducks in a row and actually come in and get something to put out.
It's a great question. I never had a really great answer for it. And I was watching, the Showtime show Billions? Watching that show, and Paul Giamatti's character gave this, because he always does these rousing speeches. And he gave this one line that really stuck with me. And he said that rage is a really powerful fuel, and that anger is a really powerful fuel. that it burns cleaner than any other emotion. And so for me, I think a lot about that in the construct of how people ask me, how do I have enough energy to do this? And when you've lost as much as I've lost, in the ways in which I lost them too, my dad's one I came to peace with pretty quickly. I was there when he died. I held hands with him when he died. Like, it was a long process. My brother committed suicide, and I wasn't there with him. And additionally, I was in a really bad place with him at that time. He was trying to kick pills. And so when he and my other brother found him, that was a really like twisted thing. And after that time, I kind of just vowed that I would like never hold back again, like never hold back my feelings, like, or like the things that drive me, like just to always embrace that and always live like there's no tomorrow. I used to say that I had nothing to live for. I have a lot to live for. But I would ultimately say that that balance and that energy, I think, comes from a place of my being angry with the things that I lost and the things that I walked away from in order to build this life. It's not that I regret, but I feel pain from that. Really legitimate pain, and pain that I hadn't unpacked until about October of last year. So it's been a really intense journey from that too. So